All right, we're back in my kitchen, back on HiGoodbye. We're calling Diaz Street. Got a really, really cool question about songwriting. It says, how do you normally go about your songwriting process? Do you focus more on lyrics and match to music, or do you compose the instrumental part first, or both? Which is a really common question for songwriters that I ask other songwriters that I admire the same question.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on? This is Darren Criss. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, hello? Hi.
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 Who's this?
I'm Carly.
This is Carly?
Hi.
It's Carly.
Yeah.
Your name's Carly.
Yeah.
What's going on,
like
Carly?
yeah.
Do you have a second? Is this a bad time? I've tried to call a lot of people and no one's picking it up, so this is very exciting.
Oh. Yeah.
We're,
Thank you for calling.
I'm so glad that you picked it up. I've seriously called like 5 people and no one has picked it up, and so I don't want to leave a message because I do leave a message, but I won't like post the video because then everybody knows their number, and so this is really, really cool.
Yeah.
So Carly, where are you calling from, or where am I calling you? Where am I calling you? This would be the way to...
I'm from Connecticut.
Connecticut, whereabouts?
It's a small town. It's kind of near like Danbury and like Newtown, those areas, Brookfield.
How close is that to Hartford?
Like a 45-minute drive.
Okay, I know Hartford. My brother went to school in Hartford at Trinity College. A little plug for Trinity College. For anybody watching.
Oh, my brother almost went there.
Oh, cool. Well, my brother did go there, so we have that almost in common. Well, Carly, I really liked your question, which was a sort of a common question for a lot of songwriters, and I can quote a lot of people who have really good answers to this. But my process, it really depends on what I'm writing. Are you a songwriter? Do you write music?
No, I play a couple instruments, but I can't like sing or anything, so I don't really write much.
But have you ever done that then? Like, have you ever sat down and just kind of, fleshed something out?
Like instrumentally, yeah, but not like with lyrics or anything.
Well, okay. Well, then I guess this can still relate to you, but so for me, it really depends. It really is a case-by-case thing, and I know I wish I had more of a specific answer. But for instance, so I don't know how familiar you are. I was part of this group Star Kid, where I would write music for some. Okay, so I won't have to explain that because that's such a nightmare to try and explain. But when you're writing for musical theater, it's a little different because you have characters already allotted out for you, and you have a scene and a goal and a character. So the character has a literal voice and a vernacular, and there's all these things where you're basically painting by numbers. A lot of the groundwork has been laid for you, and I think it's actually easier and more fun to write for characters than writing for yourself, which is a much more personal and more difficult thing to do. So I think some of the best songs that I've gotten to write for Star Kid were actually things that were hummed out for me. For instance, there's a song that I love that we wrote called Granger Danger, where Nick Lang and Matt Lang, 2 of our writers of that show, and some of their friends that you might know, would kind of the whole Very Proud of Musical started as a joke based on the fact that we always thought that Draco Malfoy was harboring romantic feelings for Hermione, and the whole show, the entire idea started from this dumb joke song that they would sing that really had no kind of discernible chord structure or melody, but they would always sing jokingly again, I'm falling in love with Hermione Granger, and it was this kind of loose, like, just loose phrase that I took and tried to extrapolate some kind of melody and chord structure, and I still think that's one of the best things that we've written because it did come from this very earnest place of just singing a stupid song and then me adding music to that. So I ended up, it was kind of a mix of both, where they gave me that idea and then I added more specific melodic notes to the main line and then adding chords underneath it. So that was more of a outside in. In other outside in, meaning like the idea was from out here and then we had to put it onto a body. Whereas there's other times where I've written things that were more personal, where you have a tune in your head where you're just saying, like I had a song called Human that I wrote when I was like really young. And I remember I just felt really, I don't know, since you're a teenager and you feel really like, how old are you, Carly?
I'm 16.
You're 16, so I was 15 when I wrote this. This is more than 10 years ago.
Oh, wow, yeah.
This is 17 years ago I wrote this tune. God, whoa, no, not 17. That makes sense. 12 years ago. I got that mixed up. That would have been 10. So math, not so good in my brain. So that was 12 years ago-ish. And I remember coming home just like when you're a teenager and life's really weird and your brain is all crazy, as I'm sure you can relate to. I just remember like feeling like a loser and picking up my guitar and just like without playing anything, just going, I feel like a loser. I feel like I'm lost. I literally just sang what I was feeling, and then it just kind of happened naturally. And I think those are the best songs where it all kind of falls into place at the same time. Because sometimes if you sit at your piano or your guitar and you're writing something and you're just singing whatever, it's hard to catch, gibberish than as if it just kind of comes out of you. So, but that's also the way to do it. I'll sit at the piano and go, yeah, da, 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 and then based on what that yada da sounds like, I'll try and find words to match it. But that's much more difficult and a huge pain in the ass, and not as much of a gift that it just kind of coming out of you is. But that's rare. The gift kind of process is rare that I wish I had more. I'm talking a lot, but this is a very complex question. I hope I'm not boring you terribly, Carly.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
What are you doing right now? Are you like in school right now? Isn't this in the middle of the day?
No, we're on spring break. So
you're on spring break? Well, that's convenient. Also, you're in Connecticut, so it's currently like 3:40 here, so it's like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock over there.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that kind of answers your question. I tend to go off on these rants, but that is a very thick question with a lot of different answers. There's this cool, I got to do this really awesome documentary about Stephen Sondheim, and he quotes Irving Berlin. Do you know who Irving Berlin is?
Yeah.
So he wrote a ton of really huge songs in a really important time in our songwriting history. And he would take phrases and write them out, not musically, but rhythmically. There's a famous song, one of my favorite songs, called Just One of Those Things. Look it up if you're watching this video or you're listening to this. Like, just look up Just One of Those Things. And it's kind of this really cute song about, just like a fling that you have with somebody and how you're just like explaining to them, like, no, it was just one of those things. Like, don't like look heavily into it. So Irving Berlin wrote out, it was just one of those things, like as if I just said it to you. And so he wrote the melody around the rise and fall of how that sounds. It was just one of those things, one of those bells that now and then rings, just one of those things. And it's such a great tune because it matches how you would say it. I basically just quoted Sondheim quoting Irving Berlin, and you can see this in a documentary that I'm shamelessly plugging called Six by Sondheim. But anyway, that when I heard that, I saw that, I was like, that's so cool. So I'll try and take phrases like the word totally awesome, again, to talk about Harry Potter musical. Like, I wrote totally awesome as if you were saying totally awesome. It wasn't like totally awesome. It kind of had to fall into the way you would say it. Because it's totally awesome is how you would say totally awesome. So, so when you can find that marriage of the way words sound naturally in conversation in the rise and fall and how you would write it in music, when you can match those, it's kind of a match made in heaven. But it's very difficult to do, and I've only done it like once or twice, and I try to do it more and more. But it also depends on the kind of music you're writing, and there's so many different factors that go into it. But anyway, I'm rambling on as I tend to do. It's just a very cool topic. While I have you on the phone, is there any other cool questions you have or anything that we could talk about while we have each other on the phone?
Not really. I don't think so.
Well, in that case, thank you for the really thought-provoking question. And when you go back to school, Carly?
On Monday.
On Monday. Boo! No, school's fun. It builds character. Well, thanks so much for listening to my nonsense, and we'll catch you later.
Okay. Can I just say something really quick? Yeah.
Of course. You know that like this is being recorded, right? And that like I'm gonna post this video of us talking.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just before you say anything that you might not want to say to a bunch of people watching.
I just thank you for calling me,
Oh,
and
of course.
just like in general, thank you. You've helped me through a lot, and you inspire me a lot.
Oh, well, you're quite welcome, and I'll have you know that that's definitely a two-way street. Whatever inspiration I might be giving you, I promise you, you're giving right back. So it's the circle of life moves on. Thank you for that, Carly. You're welcome, and thank you.
Thank you, and you're welcome.
All right, we'll see you around. Best of luck with everything.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That was nice.